Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man, it's Friday, November 12th, 2021. Rudy Gobert wants all the smoke.
Smackdown!
Don't forget he does MMA, and if you want to fight him, find him on social media.
Or don't find him in the parking lot. I'm not sure which place.
Come on. Need to talk about the Jazz. Need to talk about generally in the NBA. I have no idea what's going on this year. This has been the strangest 12-game start I can remember. Jazz and Pacers brawl. We'll talk about that. Odell Beckham Jr. is an LA Ram. Jake is going to go out on a date with a Mormon chick. Jake?
No comment.
I thought we had rules and laws in this town.
Yeah, well, the rules and laws were anybody with a heartbeat, if I remember correctly. So
Okay, there you go. You need to play your newest drop right there. Because she does have a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
But she also has something else.
I'm not. No.
Yes,
I'm
do
not.
it.
I'm not feeding into your. I'm not feeding into your childish games.
It'll happen. There is a new world record for stupidest eating human. And yes, we're referring to Cafe Rio versus Chipotle.
Yeah.
Because there is a story that is absolutely going to require a hydrojet for your butt. We'll tell you. Thank you. We'll tell you that story coming up. Yeah. By the way, a week from now, it's pretty much over. We are on the home stretch.
Oh yeah. It's coming down to it, man.
A week and a half until Maui.
Yeah, we're right there, man. We're right there. We got. Let's see. So for me, Tuesday. This coming Tuesday will be a week away until I get on an airplane.
Now, the last time we went to Hawaii, we got fired together.
That's
time
right.
we went to Hawaii together.
And by the way, quick story. Then we'll get to the Jazz and Rudy getting his ass kicked and all that good stuff. But the last time we went to Maui, we were driving because we lived in Phoenix at this time. We were driving to L.A. because we were going to fly out of L.A. to go to Maui or whatever. And we were literally talking about on the drive out to L.A. how we thought we might get fired. And then sure enough, bada boom, bada bing. One thing leads to another.
I am amazed at how much better our lives have become.
Seriously.
I can't even, I don't even.
Facts.
Yeah, we're not going, yeah. The crap hole radio station, we don't, yeah. Nah, we ballin' now. So anyway. Let's talk about the UFC event that did not take place at Vivint Arena last night. Pacers and Jazz. The Jazz lose this game, and frankly, they lost this game, and it was ugly.
Yeah.
And I'll just continue to say about this Utah Jazz team, defense is a problem now. I mean, there's no more sugarcoating it. There's no more spinning it. The Utah Jazz are a mediocre defensive team. And when you have the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year on your team, it's a little shocking that, Malcolm Brogdon dominated you. You have the Indiana Pacers, who on paper, you're a much better team than the Pacers. But Myles Turner is shooting wide open threes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not communicating. It's all well and good that there was a brawl that we're going to talk about in a minute. And it's all well and good that, the Jazz are the best team that's ever played in the NBA. We get it. They're not very good right now. And Jake, frankly, I don't know how you fix this, and I don't really know that they know how to fix it.
Yeah, so I think on the show we've had a lot of people talking about, in the past, like not yesterday, but like in the past, we've had some comments about how, maybe Quinn Snyder, needs to be brought into the conversation. Maybe this is more than just the players. Last night, I felt like for the first time when I was watching this team, I felt like this team was unhinged. I felt like this team had a lack of composure. And it wasn't just the fight. If you're watching this game in its totality, you're watching this thing build. You're watching the reaction to some of the fouls being called and the way they're handling. Like a good example of this was Donovan when he tried to take a charge on TJ McConnell and they called it a block. And then Donovan goes running away and sits on the scorer's table. So this isn't just a Rudy problem. I want to be really clear about that. That this is a Donovan Mitchell problem. This is a Rudy Gobert problem. And frankly, Joe Ingles is part of it, but not as big of a factor. Joe Ingles does a pretty good amount of trash talking as well, which is why we love him. But this team seems to struggle mentally against gritty teams, and the Pacers are the truest example of that. The Pacers are a team that are definitely not a good team, right? Well, I mean, we can all agree on that. They're not a world beater. They're not someone you got to be intimidated by in terms of their talent. But they're a team that knows that and is well aware of that, and are going to play physical, you know? And we've been talking about on this show for a long time how the Jazz are in a place where they're, with all due respect, a bit of a softer team. They're not a team that is real chippy. They're not a team that plays a real physical brand of basketball. Don sometimes will play some physical basketball, but overall the narrative on this team, the vibe of this team is not one that's chippy. It's not one that's tough. So you get into this game last night at home, by the way, and the Pacers are taking it to you physically, and you're not dealing with that well. And then after the game, you want to talk about officiating, or you want to talk about getting into fights on social media or whatever. And I'm just sitting here saying, once again, just like any game last year where we heard them complaining about officiating, this team is focused on the wrong things. This team wants to complain about officiating. This team wants to complain about, oh, well, the league is letting these guys do too much. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. The problem with that is that you're not taking responsibility for what happened. And this is the issue, the true issue I have with Quinn and the team overall. Quinn Snyder needs to get into this locker room, and he needs to say enough is enough. When are we going to stop complaining about officiating, and when are we going to start executing our end of the bargain, which is playing better team defense? And then this obviously goes right into what we were discussing yesterday on the show about roster construction and the fact that they can't keep up on defense. So as you can see, it all works together. But I just felt like last night was like very immature out of this team. That's what I left the game feeling. You know, it's like the fourth quarter, 9 minutes left. I'm like, all right, you know, they're probably going to lose this game. It's 9:30. You know, let's go to bed, right? And then what do I get? A text from you. Hey, bro, are you watching the game? There's a huge brawl going on. And I'm standing in my bathroom trying to get my eyeballs taken care of.
Were you naked?
I wasn't naked, unfortunately, but I am svelte, you know? I am nice to look at.
Yeah,
so,
you're cut.
Yeah. So anyway, so I turn the damn TV back on, and I'm like, dude, come on, man. It's the Pacers, and you're getting in a fight. Like, what are we doing? That's honestly what I felt like.
Well, you know, the thing that really stands out to me is that the officiating thing now is damaging the ball club. I mean, every team complains about the officials. I get it. Not every team is getting into a consistent war with the officials on a night in, night out basis where your most important player, who right now is Rudy Gobert, is getting technical fouls. Note his ejection last night. He already had one technical foul before the fight. My guess is he'd have been ejected no matter what, but yeah. He winds up with two technical fouls last night and a fight and an ejection. After the game, listen to Rudy Gobert here, sit up on the podium and blame the officials.
At some point, like, you know, we might have to, like, I might have to stand up for myself if the officials keep doing what they've been doing over this season. You know, like they allow guys to do way too much shit, and you know, I keep my head cool because I have a lot of self-control. I'm not gonna fight on the basketball court, but if somebody want to fight, I'm easy to reach.
I just don't understand this mentality. And, you know, I get it. Rudy Gobert's a competitor, and he is a hell of a player. But Rudy Gobert gives as much as he gets.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue with Rudy Gobert, and I was actually texting with a former NBA official the other week about this. The issue with Rudy Gobert is he has no relationship with the officials. And when you constantly battle the officials, they're all aware of it. They all talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in pregame reports. And you get no favor from the officials when you call them out or disrespect them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Rudy Gobert is doing. And last night, Donovan Mitchell's doing the same thing. Donovan Mitchell got ejected because he much like Joe Ingles, who ran in and body blocked an official last night, which is why he got ejected. At the end of this whole scrum, Donovan Mitchell made contact with an official and got ejected for it. He was not like, with all due respect to the Utah Jazz media members, they're talking about how Donovan got ejected for defending Rudy Gobert. He was never defending Rudy Gobert.
No.
That's not what Donovan Mitchell was doing. And at the end of this whole thing, he made contact with an official and got ejected for it. Here's Donovan after the game.
It's really at a point now where the referees are allowing, especially like tonight, like the referees are allowing this to get out of hand. Like, we're playing through contact, and we're competitors. Like both teams, you play through contact, you talk shit, you do whatever. But at some point, it's continuing to build, and you can sense that. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to draw the line early. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going to get situations like that where we feel like we're in a situation where we could possibly come back, and then you eject three key guys.
So what did he really say?
But the officials are why we lost the game.
No, they're not.
And when you're talking about ejecting 3 key guys, Rudy Gobert got into a fight. You're going to get ejected for that. Joe Ingles, I mean, if you go back and watch the video, Joe Ingles body blocked an official.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting ejected for that. And then Donovan Mitchell is so pissed at Keelan Martin.
Who?
He's going after Keelan Martin, who I'm going to guess said something to Donovan Mitchell. But Donovan absolutely lost his wig and then won't let it go and then makes contact with an official at the end of this thing. And you're blaming the officials for ejecting those 3 players. Which one of those ejections was uncalled for? You cannot body block an official. Joe Ingles did that. You're gone. By the way, Joe's second ejection of the year. You cannot get into a fight like Rudy did. You're gone. And then Donovan Mitchell lost his cool and again made contact with an official. You're ejected.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry.
You can't sit here, and I want to play the Donovan Mitchell bite again, because listen to how much blame and how little accountability is in this soundbite.
It's really at a point now where the referees are allowing, especially like tonight, like the referees are allowing this to get out of hand. Like, we're playing through contact, and we're competitors. Like both teams, you play through contact, you talk shit, you do whatever. But at some point, it's continuing to build, and you can sense that. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to draw the line early. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going to get situations like that where we feel like we're in a situation where we could possibly come back, and then you eject three key guys.
Where is does anybody remember the Philadelphia game last year, right? When Donovan and I think Rudy got ejected as well, right before the All-Star break, where they had lost, I think, in Charlotte, and then they go to Philly and lose. This is the exact same thing that happened in Philly. This is the same team as last year. Where is your maturity? Where is your just simply, where is your composure? Like, it is shocking to see a guy of Donovan Mitchell's caliber, a superstar, a stud, getting into a melee in the NBA. You just don't see that. It's so, A, beyond the fact that it's just not smart.
Yeah.
B, the risk of injury, the fine, the ejection,
And you notice, too, what's funny, it's funny you bring that up. One thing that I felt like went unnoticed about this whole brawl is that Mike Conley did a great job of staying out of the scrum. Like, he was around, right? Like, he was on the physical floor, but he understood the moment. He was like, okay, I can't get into that, right? Like, I can't, you've got Don, you've got Joe, you've got Rudy. Like, he recognized the moment. And I think as much criticism as he gets on this show about his injuries and that whole thing, I think he deserves some credit here for being able to say, okay, I know that those guys are gone. Like, I'm an NBA player. I know what's about to take place right here.
Yeah.
So that experience is really what separates Conley from the rest of the guys on this team, because I feel like Don can learn a lot out of this, and my fear is that he's not going to learn much. He's just going to say, well, the officials cost us, and this is why that happened, and that's the hard part. Like, this is, and as much as I hate to say it, if you were in a place where you had more dynamic athleticism on this team and you were able to play a higher level of defense, none of this would have happened, because they wouldn't have been bullying you like they were.
And the hardest part about this whole thing is it's shocking. And why is it shocking? Because the Utah Jazz should be an elite basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
This should still be the best team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's happened to this team. I don't know where they have gone mentally, but like there's something missing here. And that's why what happened last night is just so shocking. Is the word that I keep coming back to. Like Rudy Gobert is an MVP candidate by any measure. And you're getting into a brawl where you're pulling a huge human being down on top of you, and then you're getting into a hug fest, and you're trying to do a takedown of a guy. They get back up, they do whatever this hugging thing is, and Rudy Gobert is trying to throw Myles Turner down to the ground and could not do it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And I'm the reason I'm so flabbergasted by this is because this is an elite basketball team. They're just not playing very well.
Mm-hmm.
They're not shooting very well. They're not defending at all. Rudy Gobert is the only guy, like he is busting his ass defensively. But you can see what the Indiana Pacers were doing. Switch at the top, pull Rudy away from the basket, and when he sags, give the ball to Myles Turner, and he's going to hit threes.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the fast break, you get Myles Turner, dishing, and you get Brogdon running down the floor. And you get Keelan Martin hitting threes and making layups.
By the way, it should be said, Keelan Martin went undrafted. Keelan Martin's one of those kind of guys, and you're getting into a fight with one of those guys. Just to put this into perspective.
And that's the Donovan Mitchell part of this.
Yeah.
You got ejected for Keelan Martin. Don, you got ejected for Keelan Martin. And and the issue for Rudy, and this has been my thing with Rudy for a long time, Rudy Gobert is not a tough physical presence. He is a great defender. He is, inarguably an efficient dunker of the basketball. No doubt about that. He has a historic field goal and defensive presence. Historic. But you're going to get your shot blocked. That's going to happen. And when Myles Turner blocked that shot, you could see it all boil over, right? And what Myles Turner had talked about, did we play the Myles Turner bite
No,
yet?
we have.
Here's Indiana Pacers center Myles Turner talking about what happened with Rudy.
Everybody saw what happened. I thought it was a dirty play. There was I'm not sure which ref. Somebody saw. I thought all that could have been prevented, but that's besides the point. He pulled me down. I wasn't about to take that, so kept it rolling. I just couldn't believe there wasn't a foul call. I thought that was an easy call, and I think it had kind of been building up all game. Gobert, I think he had a dunk, and he started talking shit, and I think it kind of built it from there. But then when he pulled my shorts, I wasn't about to have that. So, I had to stand up for myself in that situation. I don't think I did anything wrong, but that's not up for me to decide. I'll talk to the league, and see what happens from there.
They let so much go in this game, and it's been all season long. They have let the NBA become a much more physical league.
Which is good for the game, in my opinion.
And I think on the three-point fouls that we've talked so much about, I think that's part of it. They want a more physical league. But there comes a line, right? So when Rudy is dunking and he's kicking his legs out, and you're almost hitting Myles Turner in the face at one point, and you can see the official warning Rudy Gobert, hey, easy. I think the guy said, hey, easy. And then you get your shot blocked, and you're frustrated by it, so you pull Myles Turner's shorts down. He falls on top of you, and it turns into a melee.
Now, I want to play this one more time, and I want people to listen to the difference. We can play the Rudy thing after this, but I want you guys to hear the difference in the way Myles Turner tells the story, right? You notice in his story, he's not talking about officials and all that stuff, right? He's just telling you what happened in the game between the players. So I want you guys to hear this, and then we can play what Rudy said, because I feel like the contrast is way different.
Everybody saw what happened. I thought it was a dirty play. There was I'm not sure which ref. Somebody saw. I thought all that could have been prevented, but that's besides the point. He pulled me down. I wasn't about to take that, so kept it rolling.
Besides the
I
point.
I believe there wasn't a foul call. I thought that was an easy call, and I think it had kind of been building up all game. Gobert, I think he had a dunk, and he started talking shit, and I think it kind of built it from there. But then when he pulled my shorts, like I wasn't about to have that. So, I had to stand up for myself in that situation.
Here's what I want you to hear in contrast. Yes, he's talking about the officials, but he's not calling them out and talking about how, the officials are, doing this to us and to me and to us and to, but what he said is he pulled my shorts down and I wasn't about to take that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's not blaming the officials. He's very matter of fact. And then if you listen to Rudy Gobert here, you just hear the tone is completely different.
At some point, we might have to, I might have to stand up for myself if the officials keep doing what they've been doing over this season. They allow guys to do way too much shit, and
it's amazing.
I keep my head cool because I have a lot of self-control. I'm not gonna fight on the basketball court, but if somebody want to fight, I'm easy to reach.
Like, what are you talking about? If somebody wants to fight, I'm easy to reach. Like, guy, what is wrong with you, man? And this is the thing I don't understand.
Yeah.
What if the officials have been, all season long and just concentrate on you.
And then let's play
basketball, man.
Let's play the Donovan one too, because I think this is important. So this is a team thing. It's not just a Rudy Gobert problem. And this is my point. This is becoming a Utah Jazz basketball problem. This is not a just Rudy Gobert problem. You know what I mean? So so here's Don. Listen to this again.
It's really at a point now where the referees are allowing, especially tonight, the referees are allowing this to get out of hand. We're playing through contact, and we're competitors. Both teams, you play through contact, you talk shit, you do whatever. But at some point, it's continuing to build, and you can sense that. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to draw the line early. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going to get situations like that where we feel like we're in a situation where we could possibly come back, and then you eject three key guys.
Oh, okay. So the Jazz are going to blame the officials and say they cost them a win, and Myles Turner's just going to say, yeah, he pulled my shorts, and I wasn't going to have that, and yeah, the officials weren't calling stuff, so it was building, but it just got to a point where I was done with it. It's totally different, and this is I'm no Pacer fan. I'm not sure that Pacer fans even exist at this point.
Screw Rick Smits.
But what I can tell you is that the mentality of this team is just off right now, and that's the hard part, because I would love to see, honestly, like you covered Shaq, one of the most dominant bigs in the league. He was feared, was he not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Shaq brought fear into your heart. He terrorized guys. If you look at the guys he dunked on, but that was a different era of NBA. Some guy on Twitter last night was telling me, stupid take, Stockton and Malone never fought. You guys have to understand that the 80s and 90s were a different era of basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, the early 2000s were a different era of basketball. This is a league now that's trying to morph back into a tougher, more physical game. They don't want soft basketball anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that they're changing the way the officials call the game. But again, before I get to the comments, because I know there's a bunch, but before I get to the comments, this is an elite team. The Utah Jazz are a very good team. And they're letting this affect them. And they're worried about the officials, and they're worried about their three-point shot. Do you not see that TJ McConnell last night is grabbing a rebound in the middle of the paint while the Jazz are watching?
Crazy.
Just
dude.
Standing there. Royce O'Neal is standing there watching this rebound happen. And you see this repeatedly. No communication on switches, pick and roll switches. Myles Turner's last 2 threes were wide open. Not a guy within 2 feet. There's something wrong here. There is something missing here. And, when Rudy Gay comes into this lineup, my biggest fear is he doesn't fix what ails this team. He's going to give you more three-point shooting. He is going to give you probably a little bit better wing defense than you have now, and I would think Bogey's going to play a little less because of it. But he doesn't fix mentality. He doesn't fix this victim thing.
I guess that's a good way to describe it, right? It's almost like, hey, this is happening to us, instead of, hey, this is something that we just need to handle.
Yeah. Gabe Ledley says, "My dudes, what's up, Gabe? Good to see you." Didn't Gabe ask you on Twitter?
He did.
Shout to Mo Bamba.
For a Mo Bamba
he
shout
asked me for a Mo Bamba shout out.
Shout to Mo Bamba.
Good for you on your fitness too, Gabe Ledley. Proud of you, man. Rectangle says, "Missed the UFC fight last night." Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Hey, you start talking shit.
Yeah, the Jazz. Eugene 12 says the Jazz are what we thought they were. Jackson Graham says, "Hey y'all, go BYU." Bye week, much needed bye week for BYU. Much needed. Spencer Morgan, hey Spence, good to see you. Serious lack of emotional maturity on this team, and it starts with the leaders, Rudy and Don. Serious lack of emotional maturity is a great way to put it.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to put it. And I think that's to me, that's pretty succinct. Maturity is a problem right now. Mental toughness is a problem right now. Shell Silver Smith says the refs are definitely biased against the Jazz. If you watch every game, Bogdanovich gets pummeled all the time. While we don't watch Jazz basketball on this show ever, but in every minute of every game, pretty much we've watched it. You're right. The Jazz don't get the calls they should get. But guess what? No team in the NBA, and I watch a ton of NBA.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting the calls they should get.
No.
The play under the basket and the play to the rim is not called right now.
It's much more physical. They want more physicality in the game.
That's exactly right.
And you're not going to be able, and this is, again, not that you're wrong, whoever said that, like you're
Shell Silversmith,
you're not wrong that the Jazz are not getting calls
or that Bogey gets pummeled and there's no whistle. Absolutely right.
You're totally right about that, but I think that's besides the point at this stage in the season. I think what is very clear is that the NBA is in a place where they want the bigs to battle, they want physicality under the rim, and they want to get back to a situation where the big can get after the driver, right? Can get after the guard who's coming to the basket. That's what they want. And frankly, to be honest with you, I don't blame them. I think when you look at the last season or the season before, when you look at guys, as much as I love the guy, Steph Curry, James Harden, when you look at these guys drawing these ticky-tack fouls on defenders, that's what the league's trying to get away from. And I think it's no longer good enough for the Jazz to be like, well, we're not getting the calls we should get. Nobody is, dude. Make the adjustment. Recognize it.
Yeah, by the way, Carl says, it's hard for Jazz fans to hear anything negative. I think this is part of the narrative in this town. You have guys like Bowler and Locke who will only say good things because they're paid by the team, and the flagship station essentially is owned by the team. You guys are the lone voice of reason because I'm not listening to the Tribune. By the way, I just saw what the punter at San Diego State does. My God. Well, thank you for listening to the show.
The streak of San Diego State making the show as well and alive.
And Eric C's not even here to bring it on his own. But the punter at San Diego State is arguably the best punter in the history of college football.
Yeah.
That's not an exaggeration. Spencer Morgan says, victim mentality leads to all of this. Man, that is so true.
Yeah, it's on point.
So true. Jeremy Bolton says, LOL, Joe Ingles, he came flying, and that ref had no chance. No chance. No chance. That ref had no chance. Eugene 12 says, Mike and JC need to step up when they don't play well. The Jazz don't win. The three-point shooting is, I don't know how you explain it. And all I can say is I've played a lot of basketball in my life. I shoot. I have always been a three-point shooter, not very good, but and Ron Sapocek, Sappy, my old high school coach at good old Round Lake High School, always used to say, just keep shooting it because it's going to go in eventually.
Yeah.
And the Jazz last night shot 28% from three. 9 all game.
At home, dude.
9 of 32.
At home. And by the way, what was more troubling about that?
Jake, I said,
I know, 9 of 32. By the way.
Hey, man, I said they shot 9 of 32, not in the third quarter, in the entire game.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right now.
Yeah.
It said Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
And let's go to the Jazz locker room. Here's Jordan Clarkson.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right now.
Dude, like the more troubling part about that is the Jazz came out and were hot. Don was 4 of 4. Like he was cooking.
And the thing about the ejection on Donovan Mitchell, he was having a good game.
Yeah.
26 points. Now, 3 of 7 from 3 is what it is, but he's 11 of 20 from the floor. The problem with Don last night was he wasn't getting calls. He shot, I think, he only shoot one free throw. So he's not getting the whistle. So what happens? It builds. There's frustration. I want
Losing
more calls.
composure.
And then you lose. Somebody says something to you, you lose your mind. Rudy Gobert was having a great game last night. 19 and 11. 5 of 7 from the free throw line.
By the way, just going to keep pointing this out. Every time they shoot 28% from 3, Buddy's going to have a big game. Just telling you.
And he took himself right out of the game.
Literally.
And Joe Ingles, look, I don't know what you say about Joe Ingles. 26 minutes, 7 points, 1 of 4 from 3, and a great body block. And an ejection.
So I'm saying, dude, this team needs help. This team, like Justin Zanuck in the front office, need to get it going.
Yeah.
Like this kind of game, to me, and I'm not trying to say the Jazz fans should panic or the season's over or any of that trash, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying very clearly right here today is that this team has championship aspirations, and they're nowhere near a championship caliber team. Not even close.
Clark wants to know if we ever support the Jazz.
Dude, we support the Jazz every single day.
But the issue is, again, on this show, and I think anybody who watches this show on a daily basis, the Jazz, BYU, the Utah Utes, who are going to win again this weekend.
Dude, they better, Dude.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Anyway, my point is, we tell the truth. We're not here to shine people. We are not the Salt Lake Tribune. Oh, the Jazz are great. T-shirt night coming up Tuesday against.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
Against the New Jersey. Like, we're not here to like shine you. This is you get the unvarnished truth on this show, and I'm telling you, there's something wrong with this Jazz team. And the trade deadline may be too far away.
Yeah.
It may be too far away. This may be a team that needs to make a trade in January.
Yeah.
And again, it's 12 games into the season. I'm not telling you to panic. This is not the same Jazz team you knew last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really concerns me. Spencer Morgan says you can either take ownership or believe you're a victim, but you can't do both.
Agreed.
That's exactly right.
100% agree.
Bad in Philly. Did you watch it? What do you mean bad in Philly? Last year? When that Donovan ejection in Philly last year was a complete meltdown. That was a complete meltdown. That's the game that Joel Embiid hit that 3.
And was bullying Rudy.
Shel Silver-Smith, tell me what you mean by that. Because, I absolutely watched that game. Greg Hawkins says, happy Friday, fellas. What's up, Greg? Good to see you. Wow, comment dump. My apologies. I like fights, but usually only in boxing and MMA. Seriously. I can't stand fights in basketball and football. Baseball, it's going to happen when you throw a small object at 100 miles an hour in somebody's face.
Listen, baseball fights are on a different level, dude. Baseball fights are fun, bro.
Kickboxing fights in baseball lately, but I can't stand fights in basketball. I mean, you're huge human beings, and and essentially Rudy got it right. Nobody's throwing a punch, but man, you just got to be careful.
What would we be saying if Rudy,
what if somebody had fallen on a leg? What if somebody it's just so foolish in basketball.
Yeah.
Those guys make way too much money, and one injury changes the trajectory of your career.
Yeah, well, as we found out last season.
Yeah. Eugene says, how does the smallest guy in the court get 8 rebounds? So I think he's talking about T.J. McConnell.
Yeah, because T.J. McConnell is a want-to guy. T.J. McConnell is a guy who understands that he's undersized. He's going to shoot the 3. He's going to drive on you, and he's going to work his ass off to get the rebound that he knows his team needs to have any chance to win a game.
T.J. McConnell played 30 minutes off the rack, 21 points, 10 of 14, 1 of 1 from 3. He scored 21 points and only hit 1 3.
Yeah.
Andy had 8. You're right. 8 rebounds, 5 dimes, a steal, 5 offensive rebounds.
How's that happen?
They had 15 offensive rebounds last night.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, there it is right there. How did the Utah Jazz ever get out-rebounded?
Don't know.
That's crazy. 53.
And that's what I'm saying.
They got out-rebounded. I didn't even see that. 53-37, they got out-rebounded.
That's what I'm saying. This is not an officiate. Yes, the officiating thing is always going to be a conversation, but that's not why this happened.
Good Lord.
They're not executing and playing good basketball. That's why this is happening. Everyone wants to say, oh, well, Don looks great. He was off to a great start, and and all this awesome stuff. But what about all the intangible stuff? What about the want to go and get that extra rebound?
By
what
the
about
way,
all that?
you continue. I don't know how many people realize this. I want to say the Jazz lead the NBA in free throw opportunities. So it's not like the Jazz don't get calls. I mean, you can say the officials are biased, but I'm pretty sure
The officials aren't biased, dude. Like,
I'm pretty sure that the Utah Jazz lead the NBA in free throws on it. And I'll look, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty shocking that they shot 23 free throws last night.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You're getting to the line, dude. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's almost as if the Jazz want, like special treatment or something. You're just not going to get that, and that's
No,
why I
you're
say
not.
like instead of I love that we have several comments today saying that hey they have a victim mentality. I agree 100%. You want to say that this is on the officials. Don said it at the end of that soundbite. Hey, they took 3 key players out when we were in a position where we felt like we were coming back to win that game. No, dude. That's not the reason you lost the game. It's not. It just isn't. So I don't know, man. That's why I say, like, I'm getting to a point where I'm not saying Quinn should be fired or anything ridiculous like that, but I am saying that Quinn needs to address this. Quinn needs to get this team under control.
Yeah, they shoot 79% from the line, and wow. They're at the top of the league in free throw opportunities. I mean, like, so the officiating complaint thing,
Yeah.
I don't know that it holds much water, like it just. Rec One, good morning to you. He says, I believe Rudy has some mental anger issues from his childhood. Okay, well, let's all sit on the couch and talk about it. I mean, I'm a good listener. I'm a good listener.
I know. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's talk about it. I'm a
Thank
good
you.
listener.
Yeah.
Especially from his family situation. It shows through some interviews that Jazz should try to help him on that. Yeah, sure. The Jazz didn't really look like they wanted to win, honestly. They looked, and I don't know how this is possible. The Jazz looked tired. They're like, the TJ McConnell reference, I think, is the best comment we've had today, frankly.
Yeah.
Because he outworked you. Like, you call him a want-to player. The Indiana Pacers had more want-to win that game last night than the Jazz did.
Just want to point this out. The Pacers were on a back-to-back. You were rested.
Wow, that's a great point. Very good point.
You were rested.
Tyler Hopkins, I remember the Philly game last year. Joel Embiid called for Donovan's second technical. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Joel.
Yeah, dude. It's like, and that's the thing. Like, Myles Turner is not some guy who's, like, outstated and constantly talking. And, like, Joel Embiid is a guy who wants to kill you. He wants to end you on the basketball court. Like, these are two different guys, and you're still just getting... I don't know, man. I get to a place with this team in situations like this where I run out of ways to say this team needs to make an adjustment, and both in roster construction and in the way the team is led. I mean, at some point, like, it's cool your name is Donovan Mitchell and you're the star of the Utah Jazz. At some point, it falls on you as the leader of this team to get this situation corrected, to get this right, and stop complaining about officiating.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, yeah. Cam Harrison says, I turned off the game before the fight with the Jazz because I was watching the OT game between North Carolina and Pitt. What a game that was.
Yeah.
What a game
but
that was.
Like, it's funny you say that. Like I was just saying earlier, I had turned it off because I was like, all right, yeah, it's over. It's over. We're good here. I'm like trying to take my contacts out, and I get a text. Bro, there's a brawl. Are you watching the game? I'm like, God, dude, seriously?
My wife hates that I do it, but I don't ever turn games off early. Like last night, she's like, honey, let's go to bed, honey. And no. Ramiro's like, it's easy to blame the refs if you want to, though. NBA officiating is the worst in sports. Well, people say that about every sport, though, don't they? Well, the strike zone. The NFL officials not like.
So what are we really saying?
I'm bemoaning officials on not calling roughing the passer on Justin Fields. Like,
yeah,
every sport is the worst officiating.
And as usual, what do we get back to? Officiating does not decide games, right? Execution. Even I can go all the way back to Nickel Roby-Coleman. That play did not decide that game. There was a lack of execution earlier in the game that put you in a place where you needed a call, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah, I agree. Chris Karn says, BYU fan here, the Chicago Bulls are fun again. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm telling you, it is. Although Vucevic now has COVID, so they'll be more enjoyable to watch.
Douche.
He makes me crazy. Chris, good to see you. Hope the smoker's working for you. Spencer Morgan, you can tell which fans, Jazz fans, are also BYU fans because they have persecution complex. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. James Knight says, "I will tell you how." Excuse me.
Hello.
I will tell you how McConnell gets 5 offensive rebounds. It's because when the 3 ain't falling, there's a long rebound, clearly. But that might be true. But if you look at the Pacers last night, the Pacers shot the ball just fine. I mean, the Pacers were 11 of 31, 35%. I mean, he's not getting long rebounds. The rebound that everybody's pointing to is right in the middle of the paint.
At the free throw line.
Yeah, that's not some long rebound. Like, he just is that guy who's in the right spot at the right time.
He is work hard.
He's the guy that annoys the hell out of you if he's not on your. He's Matthew Dellavedova. You hate the guy and you want to stomp on his face.
Bev.
He's Patrick Beverly, yeah.
He's PJ Tucker.
But he gets that rebound.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just, Greasy Hands Auto Sean Butterfield. Okay, good name. I like it. Laughed at Cam Harrison, who says the Jazz are playing church basketball. Yeah. Seriously.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba. Seriously. The Jazz got nothing on church ball. Holy crap, I've seen some stuff. Yeah, so have Jake and I. People tend to get
ball.
The funny thing is that like I'm bigger than most people I play basketball against.
Mm-hmm.
And it frustrates them that like my greatest ability is passing and setting body rocking screens.
Yeah.
And it's probably, by the way, it's probably been too long since you and I had somebody die off of one of our screens.
God bless.
It's the thing is like, it's almost unfair for us to be on the same team because you're like standing on the block and I'm like 5 feet behind the 3-point line with my guy standing in front of me. And you just, it's not a thing where I start going once you set the pick. Like, it's a thing where you meet him at the elbow and his life is over.
Yeah, Jake starts going and I set the pick at the elbow and Jake runs him right into the pick.
Like, I'm saying like full stride into brick walls.
And the best part of it is when you feel your arms go into his rib cage and then you hear the life and soul come out of his body.
I'm Shiva, the god of death.
I mean,
You're so fucked.
Yeah. Which is what I'm thinking of when he's about to run into me. Like, it's amazing. When you set a pick on somebody and you hear that, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Greg Hawkins says, if I were to listen to a local radio exclusively, I'd be convinced that Utah and BYU and the Jazz would win everything every year. You would.
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Yeah, you can be convinced that Aaron was immunized. Monty, do the Jazz get a W on Saturday versus Miami? Well, anybody see the way Kyle Lowry? Anybody see the way Kyle Lowry is playing right now? Again, I think the Jazz will always be in tight games with teams that have athletic wings. And if you happen to also have a big that can shoot a 3, Bam Adebayo played quite well against the Jazz the other night.
Yep. And
I think he's the example of a guy that gives Rudy some problems because Bam can stand and he can hit a jumper. He has a teardrop and a push shot. He doesn't have to dunk to score. So Rudy has to respect that space and he has to play a little bit of a tighter gap to that guy so there's more space behind him. And when you have a guy like Tyler Hero, who, again, can't come up clutch, as Jake, you pointed out, I think that's been proven throughout
many
the last
times,
several games. But Tyler Hero is going to torture this team.
Yeah.
Because he shoots the 3 well, and he gets to the basket.
And the Jazz don't really have a guy to keep up.
I would guess that the Jazz will come out, and the Jazz will win that game against the Heat.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah. I always favor the Jazz at home. I think.
Well, you should.
I think the Viv is one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. I was a little surprised. That the arena was so quiet last night. The arena, the fans were not. Jazz fans are usually a pretty big factor at home, and they were not a factor last night.
The Pacers.
I was really surprised by that. Jordan McDonald said, I laughed out loud when Gobert hugged Myles Turner. He looked so awkward. Made himself look like a total fool after the game, too. I don't understand the Rudy Gobert soundbite after the game. Like saying, I'm not going to fight on social media, but if you want to fight, find me on social media.
You know, I have a lot of self-control. I'm not going to fight on the basketball court. But if somebody want to fight, I'm easy to reach.
What are you talking about?
We get it, dude.
So, Rudy, let me get this right. You won't fight on the basketball court, but you're willing to risk your $40 million a year career to fight in an alley somewhere?
But if somebody want to fight, I'm easy to reach.
Really? I think the tough guy talk drives. It's not a secret I'm not a Rudy Gobert guy. I'm not. I think he's a great basketball player, but mentally, I think he's soft. Physically, I think he's soft. And until that changes, I just don't view Rudy Gobert as a championship player. I don't. I think he and Royce O'Neal, their mentalities are what really hurt this team, because Joe Ingles is a guy you can have on a championship club. There's no doubt about it. Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, like you look at Eric Pascal, the effort that he put in last night, the second chance opportunities, taking that ball away from Sabonis. Eric Pascal is a meat grinder, intangible player.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Gobert is wildly talented, really effective, an MVP candidate, and I just don't think you can have him on a championship caliber team because he'll do the stuff he did last night.
Yeah.
And he'll bitch at the official after every play, whether he gets a call or not. How many guys get a call from the official and get a technical foul because they were complaining about the call they got from the officials? Rudy Gobert. I mean, it drives me absolutely crazy. Jeremy Bolton says, Monty and Jake, you haven't played until you've played Mormon church ball. We actually have played Mormon church ball on carpet. So trust me. James Knight says, just curious, guys, why did you get gratification? Why did you get gratification when the Jazz lose?
We don't.
Yeah, it's bad for this show when the Jazz lose.
Yeah, it's bad when BYU loses. It's bad when the Jazz lose. It's bad
when Utah loses.
It's bad when Utah's quarterback quits on the team. Like, all that is not good for the show. It's not like I honestly love this question because everyone's like, oh, well, you guys like to see the Jazz lose. No, we really don't. The problem is that this team has expectations set by themselves. It's not like we're setting the expectations here. Donovan Mitchell, before the season, in preseason, came out and said, hey, we have championship aspirations. Last year was not good enough. And he even went on to say, and it's so funny we're talking about the victim mentality, he went on to say, maybe if we weren't hurt, we felt like we'd have won that series. Well, you were. Maybe if the officials hadn't done that, we'd have won that game last night. Well, they did, right? So it's not that we like to see the Jazz lose. I don't like having these conversations, but the fact is when you see something night in and night out, and some nights it results in a fight or a scuffle or whatever you want to call this, we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I would love nothing more than to see Bogey put up 50 against the Nuggets. I was at that game. That was a hell of a game, a great time. So to say that we take gratification in them losing is just not true. But you're not going to catch us on this show being like, well, the officials are biased against the Jazz, and Rudy's the best player ever, and Don is an MVP candidate, even though he's not and doesn't have mental composure yet. Like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, and Marcus on Twitter wants to know what facts we have to back up that Rudy's soft. Okay, well, let's get into that conversation real quick. Rudy is soft because, when you do the Myles Turner situation is a great example of this. Rudy plays tough guy when he dunks and he kicks his feet up into Myles' face and he talks a bunch of trash. But then when Myles Turner comes up behind him and blocks a shot and Rudy goes down, he's going to pull Myles Turner down on top of him. And then he's going to say that Myles hit him from behind, which Myles did not do. And then he's going to blame the officials. That's not being a tough guy. A tough guy is, hey, if you're going to dunk on somebody and put your feet in their face, you better be ready because that's going to come back to you at some point.
A tough guy is Morris or Jokic or like that whole situation. You notice the narrative in that situation is totally different. Everyone wanted to say, well, Jokic hit Morris from behind. Yeah, but what did Morris do? Morris had it coming, right? Morris knew what he did. So that's why I say it's a totally different situation. Being a tough guy, like in this Myles Turner situation, being a tough guy would not include pulling dude's shorts down. Being a tough guy would have been getting up and just running down and waiting for your next opportunity. Yeah. That's what a tough guy would do.
Because you have nobody's going to throw a punch in the NBA. There's just not. Rudy Rudy is a guy that's out of control a lot of times emotionally. There's no way he's throwing a punch.
No.
I mean, it just costs you too much money. It is when you're making $41 million a year, that's $100,000 punch you threw.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of money. And so I think when you're Rudy Gobert, if you want to be a tough guy, you're going to be a tough guy on the court. You're physically in the paint. Rudy Gobert, the Indiana Pacers attacked Rudy Gobert last night.
As do most teams.
I mean, he's a great player, but I'm telling you, there's a mental edge and intangible that is missing from Rudy Gobert. It's almost inarguable.
Yeah. It's not a secret. It's not like if you talk to people who are not Jazz media, they're going to tell you the same thing.
Oh, wow. Eric C. says, I made it. Well, BYU's about to lose to San Diego State basketball tonight. To which Jeremy Bolton says, Eric C., I would fight on the podcast, but you know how to find me.
Facts.
Let's go, Jeremy.
Undefeated.
Let's go, baby.
Aztecs love having cougar for dinner, Jeremy. Giggity says, Eric, I heard Mormon cougars are wild in the sack. Eric C. says, behave yourself, Giggity. This is a family show. James Knight says, oh, so when Jokic does it, tough, but if a Jazz player does it, it's immature?
Yeah,
No.
you're damn right. You're damn right.
What Jokic did was stupid, and he apologized actually after the play. Like, he sat on a dais and said, you know what, I feel really bad I did that. I'm sorry.
But look at the action, though. This is what I'm saying. It's not, oh, well, if a Jazz player does it, it's soft, and if a Nuggets player does it, it's hard. Look at how it played out.
And look at
you
what
can't
they
just
say.
skip that.
Look at what they're saying afterward.
You can't just skip over all this, right? Like Jokic didn't pull Morris's shorts. Jokic went in on Morris. Jokic literally body blocked him into the floor, dude. Like, he didn't pull his shorts down and then walk away. Like, that's soft, man. And then after the game, to your point, after the game, you want to blame the officials? That's not like, I can't believe we have to have this discussion. That is not tough guy stuff. Like think about like Kobe Bryant, perfect example. Kobe Bryant and Matt Barnes went at it for years, dude. We have the iconic video that goes around social media almost on a daily basis of Kobe standing in front of Matt Barnes and Matt Barnes pump faking the ball into his face and Kobe not moving. Kobe was a badass. Kobe was a tough guy, a guy that you knew you were going to get the smoke if you did stuff to him. Rudy's not that guy. That's not, like, it's totally different. It's not anywhere the same. And I just can't believe that we have to describe that or have that conversation. It plays out in front of us every single night. You see it.
The Utah Utes at the Arizona Wildcats. The Utes are 6-3. My wife is wearing Jordans.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
That's true. The Utes are a 24-point favorite, and they're 5-0 against the spread.
Bro.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, okay, good. All right.
Real quick, I want to talk, because then we got to talk about Jake dating Mormon girls, because Jake is going to date a Mormon girl this weekend. We'll talk about it, because that's totally sus. But anyway, Matthew Stafford is now going to be throwing the ball to Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, dude.
Are the Los Angeles Rams of Los Angeles, not Anaheim and stuff, or St. Louis, are the LA Rams the best team in the NFC West?
I mean, I think you have to say yes, not just because of the Odell signing, but the Von Miller signing, right? Like that, like the defense is what's always going to win you a championship. I just am a firm believer in that. We see it play out every single year. And I think adding veteran leadership like Von Miller to your team is really going to help this team. I think about, because the path is going to go through the Cardinals, right? You're going to have to beat the Cardinals to get to where you want to go. So when I look at the Cardinals, I'm like, all right, this is a dynamic offensive team. DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, AJ Green. Like, you've got a lot of talent over there. And to me, when you've got a veteran linebacker like that, or linebacker defensive end hybrid guy in Von Miller, that is priceless. So to me, are they the best team on paper? Yeah, in my opinion, they're the best team. But I still think we can't just blow off what the Cardinals are this year, because they're a damn good team.
Yeah, I think when you look at the egg that the Rams laid in Tennessee or against Tennessee, because that game was in LA, if I remember right.
I think so, yeah.
That was an embarrassing performance. I would expect a huge bounce back. I doubt Beckham plays Monday night, because they have San Francisco on Monday night. I would think Von Miller would be good to go this week. And I do think they're the best team. I mean, Russ is coming back to the Seahawks.
Go Hawks.
Oh, good Lord. She is absolutely a smoke show.
Go Hawks.
That is Russell Wilson's wife, Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to ask me twice about Sierra. Like, when she says that,
Go Hawks.
my God. I mean, what, 12 seconds?
Facts.
Maybe. Maybe.
Go Hawks.
It might be 10 seconds. You know,
And just kind of scruff it and play with it when it's wet.
8 seconds. Like, I'm
Go
out.
Hawks.
Yeah, come on, babe. Let's go. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Cam Harrison says Arizona upsets the Utes. LOL. Stop. Greg Hawkins says go Utes. I'm predicting 38-7 for that game.
Go Hawks.
Jordan McDonald says Rudy instigated the fight. Jokic did not. True. James Knight says, sorry, that's a double standard.
It's not.
Giggity says Jokic went for the kill. Judy went for a bro hug. Oh,
Judy.
my God.
Wow.
Giggity.
Bro.
Giggity. That's a really good comment. Like,
Sorry, folks, that's what it is.
Judy went for a bro hug. Jazz will be okay. Need JC and Joe to step up and start balling. Eugene 12 says, I agree. James Knight says, oh, so when Jokic does it, it's tough, but Jazz players do it and it's immature. To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right. We're an hour into the show now.
What did I say before the show?
We shouldn't talk NFL because we're going to run out of time. But how do you not talk about the Rams?
I know.
All right, let's talk about you dating a Mormon girl.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tiffany is the name.
Play the sus drop because this is totally
I really
sus.
don't care if you think it's sus.
Well, Mrs. You
Okay,
have a
there's little
microphone. What is
here.
your
Yeah, there's a
problem?
little microphone and stuff.
All
and,
right. Hey,
Uh-oh.
I thought Tiffany
Uh-oh.
wasn't Mormon.
No, Megan isn't Mormon.
One of which Megan? Because there's been like 11 Megans.
I know. Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, but it's different if it's Meagan or Meghan or Megan.
Maygin.
Yeah, right. Okay, anyways.
Megan.
So Brittany.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Which one?
Tiffany is Mormon.
Oh, Tiffany.
Tiffany's Mormon.
So when are you guys? Did you book the ceiling room yet, or
No,
what's the story?
And
No.
Tiffany knows you're not.
Yes. So, okay, yeah, let
Okay,
me tell
all
the
right,
story.
all right,
Let me
okay,
tell the story
okay.
here before, before
We
we
need
get-
some
yeah.
background on this.
Yeah, so Tiffany we had a discussion, and I told her, I was like, hey, like, you need to understand something that I'm not.
Well, first of all, you started it with, "Hey, baby."
Yeah.
Anyway, now go ahead.
Mhm.
Hey, baby.
Yeah. You know.
Go Hawks.
Yeah. So, you know, I told her, I was like, hey, like, you need to understand, I'm not Mormon. You're never going to catch me at church. Like, I'm not getting married in temple, none of that stuff. Like, that's not happening. And she was like, yeah, no, I understand. That's fine. Like, I just kind of believe in it, and, you know, like, in like in the faith and all that good stuff. But she was like, I'm not like a hardcore, you know, like rule follower or whatever. So however you want to describe that, the point is she just is
So
like,
she's not a devout follower of
exactly
the faith.
Exactly. Like, she's just like, hey, like, you know, this is what I've always done.
So she
since I was a kid.
she probably doesn't have a temple recommend. I would guess. I mean,
I don't know. I don't claim to
she's
be an
probably
expert in all
she's
that.
probably behind on her tithing.
Yeah, probably. I don't
You
know.
know.
I
She
have no
probably
idea.
ain't tithing at all. Smart girl.
been immunized.
But anyway.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah. So we'll see. She wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory Saturday night, so that's what we're doing. We're going to dinner.
Oh.
Sucker.
That's fun. Did you hear what we're doing on Saturday night?
Honey.
100% his idea.
Bet you weren't expecting this one.
We're going to painting with a twist.
Whoa.
We're going to paint. I was like, hey, I want to do like a date, but I don't want to just be focused around food, right? Because, you know, we trying to not keep as much food on us as we have in the past.
Because she just called me
Because-
fat.
Bro, did you
She
did
just called
she
me
just
fat.
call you fat?
She just
I
called.
called
yeah.
myself fat. But anyways,
No, you called me fat.
yeah, so I'm like, I really want to do some sort of a date that's not just like, let's go to a restaurant, right?
I'm a
'Cause
carb-eating motherfucker.
Like, we haven't been doing that for, you know, almost 50 years of my life.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, it'd be fun if there was like a color me mine, and he was like, or take a painting class, and I was like, what? So then I found one.
I want I absolutely. I expect jaw loosening on Saturday.
I want it.
Wow.
I expect to be paid in full.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mm,
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
Wow.
Yes, this was my idea.
100%.
Okay,
Giggity,
so
Giggity wants to know, whoa, what is this getting twisted while painting?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what
the
I'm
whole
saying.
other. That's the after dark version.
Fat Jesus says, painting date night, you're all becoming Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to pander to the Sex Panther, so,
I want it.
Yeah, I'm thirsty, man. I'm married. What do you want? I actually am looking forward to this.
Okay, so why did you come up with this idea? What made you?
We've gotten to this thing in life, and I think a lot of people can probably relate to this. We've gotten to this thing in our life where I'm tired of sitting at home. Like, the pandemic wore me out.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, I've lost a bunch of weight and we're in better shape, and we were bench pressing 90-pound dumbbells yesterday at the gym, and guys were fist bumping us for that.
What do you bench?
It was amazing, dude.
We literally put up, 90 pounds, and this guy's like, wow, amazing stuff. And walks over and fist bumps Jake and I.
It was crazy.
And we were like, bro.
But
you realize that life is not lived by sitting on the couch watching Netflix or binging on some show.
Or Rudy punching someone in the face.
Well, that is life. But anyway, the point is, which that's a sitcom because that never happens.
Right.
The point is, I want to get out more now. I'm triple vaccinated. I wear a mask. Like, it's time to go paint some stuff and have sex afterwards. Like, that's just what my marriage has become. So,
Facts.
What? I'm keeping it real.
Go Hawks.
Yeah, go Hawks. Hey, baby. Right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, no, I got you.
So
Okay.
Mrs. Monty went and booked us a paint and sip.
Okay. So you're not a wine guy, so what are you sipping?
Probably Rockstar.
You bring your own, it's BYOB. You can bring your own adult beverage.
So are you going wine or are you going hardcore tequila, getting crazy?
No, I'm probably going to go wine. I can't imagine what my painting would look like if I was Margaritaville. So, yeah.
Fat Jesus says painting and sex, America. Exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly right.
You have to throw a gun in there, though, if it's going to really be Merca.
Stop.
Mhm.
Anyway, the point is, so we're going to paint this sunset picture, and she paints one half, I paint the other half.
Oh.
So it's
honey.
not going to be very good on my side because I can't draw a stick figure most days.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time, and then we're going to go to Chipotle and get double meat.
Yeah, Chipotle and double meat. So
Tell this story.
Washington football team, offensive lineman, Sam Cosmi, right? He went to Texas. When he went to Texas, freshman year, they redshirted him because he was too small. He was only 295.
Oh, sorry
It
about
wasn't
that.
even $3. He's only 295, right?
Jesus, do you know how much money I would pay to be 295 pounds?
So what did Buddy do? Dude went to Chipotle for literally, not exaggerating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Every time he went to Chipotle, he got a bowl for $8, and he got double meat every single time. So me, being the Chipotle guy that I am, I was like, this makes perfect sense. Does this not add up? You're getting double meat, you're getting beans, everything's fine.
Salmonella.
I mean, it's cool. Like you're gonna bench 5'10", it's gonna be great.
But here's the thing. I would go to Cafe Rio, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and have shredded chicken tacos with just lettuce and pico.
Okay.
I think it's the singular best meal ever.
Right, but Chipotle's better.
I won't eat a Chipotle again. We ate a Chipotle a couple weeks ago when we went to Chris Karn's house to drop off the smoker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was terrible.
It's not terrible.
It was, oh my God, are you kidding? Do you remember the brown guac?
It was not terrible.
It was brown
dude.
guac. Tell me it wasn't brown guac. Tell me it wasn't brown guac.
The guac was from the night before because we went when they first opened. So
What color was the guac?
You're making it out like it was crap brown, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Dude, there is only one shade of brown guac, and it's not a good shade.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it comes out completely brown the other end. Right? Like, I mean...
Butthole.
Yeah.
Everything comes out completely brown.
That's a great drop.
And
It cores you out, man. I'm telling you, Chipotle cores you out.
And Cafe Rio doesn't?
No.
Butthole.
Come on, dude.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
Bro.
Chipotle is death.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
All right, in the comments, Chipotle or Cafe Rio?
Butthole.
Yeah. Butthole. First of all, butthole is one of the greatest words
And you
ever.
can't say butthole. It's
No.
butthole.
Well, she can say butthole.
Butthole.
You know, like she can say it.
Right.
I don't say that. wait. You know, I'm just telling you. And now Eric C has created a huge fight in the comments.
Shout to Mobamba.
Eric C's going on about how Greg's a BYU fan, who then is saying, no, I'm a Utah fan. And Eric C's like, stick to football, Greg. And Greg's like, you're making me want to root for BYU against San Diego State, and I never want to root for BYU. And Eric C's like, wait a minute, we also won that game, Greg. Like, yeah, San Diego State beat Utah. Eric is like beating people into submission. He says, still whooping that Ute ass, Greg. Okay, are you going to control your phone over there?
Mrs. Monty doesn't know how to use the iPhone 13 Pro Max yet. She's still learning.
Man. Chipotle, Jeremy Bolton.
It's melting
Stop
down.
going. You can't fucking make it stop.
You're terrible. See, I buy you an iPhone 13 and you just can't control it.
Yeah.
It's so sus. Jeremy Bolton says Chipotle 100%.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
Thank you.
Of course, Jeremy. And I bet Jaron Hall's favorite restaurant is Chipotle. isn't it?
Yeah.
I bet. Britt, Chipotle or Cafe Rio?
Butthole.
Anyway. Britt cannot hear the
love
drops,
Chipotle.
Ah, fuck. Here we
I
go.
love Chipotle. It was not as great that one morning. Their chips are superior to
Agreed.
Cafe Rio's.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The chips we got at Cafe Rio the other night were not good.
I did not say that. I said that Chipotle's chips are superior to Cafe Rio's.
Costa Vida or Cafe Rio?
Chipotle.
We never eat at Costa Vida. It's
We
like
did, though.
so
We
like
did
In,
one
one
time
time.
in Evanston, Idaho, or Wyoming, or Nebraska, or wherever the fuck that place is. Evanston, Montana? Wyoming.
Wyoming,
What
guy.
Wyoming.
Do you know the map?
No.
No. Google Maps for life.
Hello.
Duh.
Yeah, we went to Costa Vida in Evanston when we went and got hooch and lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So, which, by the way, we never checked to see if we won the lottery there.
Nice job, guys.
That's what it is. Chipotle or Cafe Rio is like asking herpes or gonorrhea.
Butthole.
Hey, well, I think that gonorrhea is curable, so I'm going to go gonorrhea. You can take a pill to get rid of herpes is for life. Gonorrhea is an infection.
How did we get here?
So,
Yeah, I've been immunized.
you know,
How did we get here?
I'm just saying,
How?
don't go herpes. It's viral. Can't get rid of
Bro.
that shit.
Bro. Dude. Wow.
What is this, sex ed?
I get you.
Hey,
Hey, you're
it's
the one.
important
bro,
to know.
You're the one
if
talking
someone
about
says
painting
to
and
you,
sex.
I've had gonorrhea before. You're
Okay.
probably okay, but if
Dude.
they say I've had herpes, there's no getting rid of it.
Spinal.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Why do we allow you on this show?
Back is broken.
I bring the wisdom.
Wow. Jeremy Bolton says Jaron eats at Chipotle and Cafe Rio at the same time. I bet Caruso eats at Cafe Rio. Yeah, I bet Caruso does. Anyway.
Bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely don't go herpes, Ramiro says.
Right. Ramiro's right. See?
Are we really having
Now-
this discussion?
Well, or
Marry one,
let's
kill
throw
one.
in
Go.
something into the mix. Is it Chipotle, Cafe Rio, or Hooters? Did you hear about their new
Hooters?
uniforms?
Oh, yeah. Women are quitting
Booty.
Hooters because they're essentially.
I mean, there's no
having their-
Hooters here. You would think they could, though. You know.
Last
You have
time I was at a
What do you
Hooters
mean?
was in San
Britt,
Diego.
Did you
wasn't
just say you don't have Hooters? You
Ugh.
have Hooters.
No, there's no.
it? No,
Hoot-
she was saying there was no Hooters in Utah.
yeah,
Oh, the restaurant.
the
My
restaurant.
bad.
Probably
we
have to go just over the border to Nevada or something.
Yeah, we had Hooters last time when we went to the Padre game like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten into the whole, hey, look at the hot chick that works at Hooters because, frankly, that's an oxymoron. Because, you know, with all due respect, like the Hooters chicks are not, you know. And now they're having to wear essentially thongs, and most of them are walking out, and
Yeah.
they won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new shorts
Shorts,
Are-
quote unquote.
are underwear. What's that
Fat-
one in San Diego that has like they're like the lumberjack Hooter version or like the Scottish Hooters
No, that's
version.
in Scottsdale.
That's in Phoenix.
But there's one in San Diego
Twin Peaks.
too.
Twin Peaks, where James Harden was.
Yes, Twin Peaks.
I don't think it's Twin Peaks.
It is Twin Peaks. Yeah, the old crappy radio station has a relationship with Twin Peaks, and we were forced to go there. And they didn't even pay for our food. We had to pay for our own food.
Yeah.
Because we went to one that was near the ballpark in San Diego that was the same thing.
Jackson Graham says Twin Peaks in Mississippi. Oh, Tilted Kilt?
Tilted Kilt.
Tilted Kilt.
Tilted Kilt.
There you go.
Fat Jesus says my whole day was just made by Mrs. Monty saying don't go herpes.
Bet you weren't expecting this one.
It's true.
No.
This is a life tip, people.
Best location, he says, is Twin Peaks in Mississippi, Jackson Graham. Yeah, Ramiro, definitely don't go herpes. Jeremy Bolton wants to know if ass vacuuming is an option.
I don't know that it's an option. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. By the way, my dogs are totally fine. They love the dog door.
Do they?
Yeah.
They love
They're
the
using
dog.
it.
They go in and out all
All
the
the
time
time.
now.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, before we get out of here, because we are tight on time, there's a huge shoe auction coming up in 21 minutes.
Oh, what do we got today?
Air Jordan 2s.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. By the way, Hawaii. Mrs. Monty, we're a week and a half away from Hawaii. What are you most
what am
looking
I?
forward to? Well, nobody. You're probably going to be like indoctrinated tomorrow night. Like I don't even have to. Yeah, go Hawks. What are you most looking forward to in Hawaii at this point?
Our vow renewal, I would say.
Yeah, we are going to renew our vows.
Yeah, that's gonna be really fun.
I'm most looking
Did you
forward
say
to
vowels?
the vows.
Oh, like that's different.
Yeah, I have herpes, so it makes me talk different.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
No. Anyway,
That's the syphilis. Jesus.
thank you. Are you having a stroke? I'm most looking forward to. See,
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm flustered. I'm flustered. The point is, I'm most looking forward to the fishing trip. That's what I'm most looking forward
Deep
to.
sea fishing.
Deep sea
Yeah,
fishing.
that's going to be crazy, dude.
Yeah, we're going on 2 boat trips for that.
Yeah, I'm excited to go fishing.
And there's going to be some good hiking and snorkeling. You know what I'm really looking forward to? Going to the beach, and we're staying at a resort on
Yeah.
Maui and just chilling in the pool because the pool there is ridiculous. It's awesome. I'm curious what the level of service is. My boss went to Honolulu a couple weeks ago and said that you have to show your vaccine passport everywhere to get in.
Yeah, in Honolulu, they required that. Maui, they said vaccinated people can eat inside, unvaccinated can eat outside. So they were going to have people ask. There's a lot of restaurants who decided to make it outside only.
Is the vaccine passport on your phone, or how does that work exactly?
No, like your card.
You have to
either
show your
your
card?
card
He
or
said
you
you
can.
can. He said if all he did was took a picture of the front and back of his card
Oh,
and showed it to him. On the iPhone, though, they accept the do you not have this in your card? You got to do this.
I
Dude.
don't know, dude. I have no idea.
in your wallet app,
Yeah.
it shows your vaccination status if you upload that. I'm sure.
How the
Or
heck-
you know what? In your U Health app, in your My Chart app.
Okay.
Um,
So my chart app. This is again the greatness of U Health, which we have to get to really quick.
oh yeah, the contact thing.
Yeah. So yesterday, so I get contacts like a month ago now, right? And yesterday was like the follow-up appointment to it. And everything's fine, got new contacts or whatever, that's cool. But I asked him about LASIK. And I was like, "Hey dude, like what are we looking at here?" And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, he was like, I can't tell you definitively, but he was like, based on your prescription and like everything, I can't, like it looks like it would probably be a fit for you, but he was like, I don't have the tool to measure the thickness of your cornea, because that's what LASIK is. I don't know.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously most people probably know, but like basically with LASIK, they're just cutting a flap on your cornea. The problem is that you have to have a certain amount of thickness to account for that. So some people don't have that thickness of cornea. So he was like,
Yeah.
if you don't have that, there's PRK, which is basically what they do in that procedure is they basically swab away a portion of your eye and it regrows back when they're done, but it's incredibly painful. So it's like a 3-week recovery. So I'm probably not doing that.
No, hell no.
And then there's a third option, which I didn't know existed, where they, I guess, can put they take the way he described it was like a mini contact lens of some kind, and they put it in your eye like on a permanent basis, I guess, and it does its thing.
Oh, like cataract surgery. They
Kind
put a lens,
of, yeah, like
and they can
So,
shape that lens. That's
yeah.
what they're telling my mom they're going to do with her
yeah.
eyes.
So I don't know. Like, so, he's referred me and there's going to be a consultation, but it was just like, I was like, nah, I'm not doing PRK, dude. That sounds gnar. I'm hoping that I can get LASIK. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I hope you get LASIK too. I had it in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Never looked back. By the way, I lied. It's in your Apple Health data that shows you're vaccinated. And
Apple Health.
Yeah, if you just go to your health, do you not
Yes.
use health?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it'll be there under like records. So all health data, and it'll say health records.
Immunizations.
Yeah, there it is. My flu shot's in there and all my things, so that's good. All right, cool. Play the music. Mrs. Monty, always good. By the way, Fat Jesus says, "Can I object during your renewals?" Hello, Mrs. Monty. Well, you can. You can. You know.
Don't. Please don't.
I'm not going to say it.
Don't.
I'm not going to say it. Hey, make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm The Monty Show, Monty The Monty Show. Jake is SLC Supercars. Shoot us a picture, tag us in it that you're subscribed to the show, and you can win this Xbox Series X. S as in Sam. Greg Hawkins says, fun show today. Good job losing weight, Ted says. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, he was talking to you, my bad.
Yeah, I'm fat.
Yeah, so until next week is our last week of shows in November. So until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.